Russian international master Saviely Golubev wins the last Lichess Titled Arena, while the reigning world chess champion Magnus Carlsen takes the second prize. An unknown Grandmaster playing under username Watneg ends in the third place, and in this video I want to share with you a game which was played between Magnus Carlsen and Watneg. At the time of this game, Carlsen's rating was 2992 and Black's rating was 2870. Black's rating is pretty high, but in this game he will fail to show a resistance when facing the unstoppable force. Carlsen, who is playing under nickname DrNykterstein, opened up with e4 and Watneg responded with Modern Defense, g6. Black is allowing white to take control over the center in order to undermine it later. Here Carlsen went for this interesting looking h4 move. Instantly he wants to challenge Black's pawn structure on the king side by playing h5, and I have to tell you that despite the fact that usually during bullet games Carlsen loves to experiment with typical crazy moves, but this move is absolutely normal and can be seen at the highest level. For example, in 2016 MVL chose this move against Nakamura, where the latter proceeded with bishop g7, allowing h5, but in our game Watneg played h5, stopping the advancement of the h-pawn, which is creating a weakness on h5 square, where later Carlsen will put his knight c3 bishop g7, bishop e3 knight f6, f3 a6. Black is preparing an advancement on the queen side. Meanwhile, white wants to castle queen side, and we have it castling queen side. Carlsen is not even paying attention what's going on the queen side. He will now organize his attack on the king side. There it goes, the knight is coming on g5 square, knight b6, knight g5, e6, king b1. First we have this important prophylactic move, and after queen e7 Carlsen developed the last piece, bishop d3, bishop b7, rook e1. He's centralizing his pieces, and after knight d7 he went for f4 with the idea of playing f5. As Black king is stuck in the center of the board, white wants to open up the position and target the enemy king. I have to tell you that instead of playing knight fd7, Black could simply castle kingside, but in this game we will see that Black will completely neglect that fact. Even in here, Black could castle queenside, but decided to proceed with his attack and played b4, knight e2. Now the pawn on b4 is hanging. That's why Black played d5, opened up the queen's diagonal, but this is a dubious way of protecting the pawn, because in this case Black is like inviting white to open up the center, which makes things easier for white, you know. This d5 move makes things easier for white, you know. Here we have f5, and after d takes e4 he made a beautiful move, f takes e6. He's going for a piece sacrifice, and what is interesting, Black took the bait and captured on d3. At least Black should have played f takes e6, which could have allowed him to prolong his resistance, but in our game we have e takes d3, and after e takes f7 check, king f8. This king f8 is a very terrible square. At least Black should have played king d8, but in our game we have king f8, to which Carlsen responded with knight f4 and created a direct mating threat. Here Black captured on c2, announced a check, and after queen takes c2, a question arises: how are you going to neutralize this threat? Just no way out. Black's position is totally lost. In here Watneg played bishop d5, a desperate move, and got checkmated after knight takes g6. The way Carlsen is managing to beat such strong players really surprises me. This was a blitzkrieg, Mr. Carlsen. Well, in the end, let's also solve a chess puzzle where the task is to find the mating line for white. It's white to move, and I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you. Feel free to check them out as well. I will see you in my next video. Take care.